Form 941, Employer's Quarterly Tax Return. We are working on it. We fill out up to line 12, total taxes after adjustment and credits. Now this session is going to be line 13 to line 15. So line 13, total deposits for this quarter, including overpayment applied from a prior quarter and overpayment applied from Form 941X, 941 SPR, 944X, or 944X SP filed in the current quarter. So line 13, if you make any deposits for this quarter, it will go here. In our example, we didn't make any deposits, so it's going to stay blank. If you are required to make deposits, you should be making them following your deposit schedule. And let's talk about that a little bit. How do you know if you are required to make monthly deposits or bi-weekly deposits? You have to look at your prior, like 2 years prior forms. If you report let's say that's 2020, so you have to look for from July 2028 to June 2000 or to July 2020 2019. So 2 years time, 1 year time frame within those 2 years. So if you reported taxes for more than $50,000 for 1 year time frame, you should have bi-weekly deposits. And you make the selection at the start, at the beginning of the calendar year, like January 1st, for instance, and you stick to that schedule for the whole year. So if you have reported taxes for that time frame that you are looking at, and the taxes that you reported are less than 50 are less or are $50,000 or less, you could have monthly deposit schedule. So that's the difference between the two. And the taxes that we are talking about include federal income tax, social security, employer and employee side, Medicare tax, employee and employer side. So all that total, if it's more or less than $50,000, you could be filing bi-weekly or monthly. So if you are required to make bi-weekly deposit, you should be making those deposits bi-weekly. And if that's monthly deposit, you should be making it, and you will register at EFTPS so that you can use IRS EFT, electronic fund transfer, for free to make those deposits based on your schedule. Line 14, balance due. So if line 12 is more than line 13, enter the difference here. So balance due. So we will do pretty much line 12 minus line 13. So if line 12 is more than line 13, that means we owe tax. And here we have $30.60. So if you owe tax, there is few options to choose from. So if you are required to make deposits, so that means you have to make deposits using EFTPS to make the payment. If you are required to make deposit and you make them monthly, you can use EFTPS to make the payment. You could use EFW, electronic fund withdrawal, to make the payment. You could use debit card or credit card as well. Keep in mind that EFW, you only use it to make payments, not to make deposits. If you make monthly deposits and you owe tax here, you could just use your EFTPS to make that monthly deposit and include this amount in it. So if you go that route to make the payment like that, then when you file your form 941, you don't fill out the last page, which is 941V, voucher. You don't fill that voucher up. And when you mail the form 941, you'll mail it to the address that will be in the column stating without payment. So we might talk about that later, but I can just bring the form. You'll find it on page 8 of IRS instructions for form 941, and you'll choose the state you live in. You have an option here, without a payment, with a payment. So pretty much is if you are including a payment along with the form 941. So if you use EFTPS to make electronic fund transfer, or you use electronic fund withdrawal or debit card or credit card to make your payments that you owe on pretty much the line we were before, you are not going to include payments in the envelope when you file form 941. Therefore, you are going to choose without a payment, the address without a payment column here based on your state. So let's go back here. If you are now required to make a payment, like monthly or bi-weekly payments, and you owe tax here, you could make a deposit using the EFTPS, or you could use EFW, credit card or debit card as well, or you could just you could include your payment in the envelope along with the form 941, and you will fill out 941V, the voucher, which will be included in the envelope as well along with your payments. So line 15, overpayment. So if line 13, the deposit you make here, or the prior year, if the deposit, the tax, if you have overpayment before and you require IRS to keep it to be applied for the next quarter, and you have now here you have 13 is more than line 12, you'll have overpayment. So if you have overpayment, if line 13 is more than line 12, enter the difference here, and you'll check one of the two, not both, one. So apply to the next return, send a refund. So if you want a refund, you will click on that. If you want to apply to the next return, you will click on this, and this one will stay blank. So that means when you file the next quarter, this overpayment, you will put it on line 13. Total deposit for the quarter including overpayment from prior quarter. So if you allow IRS to keep the overpayment for the next return, you'll remember to put it on line 13 for the next quarter. But in our case, we owe tax, so we won't put anything on line 15. That's how you fill out Form 941, Employer Query Tax Return, line 13 to line 15. Thank you for watching. I'm Afiavi Ojune Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and owners of Nina's Soap. Our website is ninasoap.com.